The ban list is come and gone for Master Duel, and I wanted to give some predictions on where I think things in the metagame are going to shift. They might not have been big changes, but trust me, the slight slap on the wrist for like Fusion Destiny and some of these other extenders really does matter. Some big 30% of you guys have not smashed the elephant crap out of that subscribe button. Smash it so we can climb up the 100k ladder here. Ban list is now in full swing here for Master Duel, or heading into full swing here. And I want to talk about where I think a few things are going to be pushing here. You know, the loss of Fusion Destiny, the loss of, Vanity's Emptiness. These power cards that kind of help out a lot of these strategies actually is going to hurt quite a lot. So the first thing we're going to look at here is Adamancipator. So Adamancipator is an interesting thing because they still have Block Dragon, but it's not a super consistent topper at the point. I think it's very interesting to kind of take note of like how this deck structures up and how it's able to set up these boards and still do these really big power plays. I would definitely put it at 1.5. I don't think this deck is at the tier 2 presence just yet, but it's definitely a lot better than a lot of the other things going on within the spectrum of Master Duel. Tri-Brigade, I want to put Tri at borderline 2. I'm going to use this deck as the gatekeeper here, for example. Now, here's the thing with Tri. You still have the Lyralist package, which can do things. The problem is this deck is just kind of getting power crept down further and further by a lot of the current standard of the meta. And don't take me wrong here. I do think that because this deck is like such a very strong like gatekeeper, that it's definitely good. But like I said, this is like the milestone. But what this deck now does, based on like all the releases and everything, feels very fair compared to the rest of things. I'm also going to put Drytron in 1.5. Now my reasoning here with Drytron is pretty honestly straightforward. You still have Ava, you still have you still have all the Herald stuff. But the thing is, like, a lot of players weren't really heading towards looking at this as a deck, because who wants to look at this when you have, True King of All Calamities, you have Rongo Reminiad, and you have all these things. Actually, this deck might be a lot better now. This might be a tier 1 deck at this point. But for now, as we expand on this list, we'll come back and revisit this. But to be honest with you, this is definitely the better option tree for all things to be considered. I definitely think now that VFD is gone, this might actually rank up here. It's definitely 1.5 for sure. Sky Striker I'm also going to put in the same category as Tri-Brigade for this video. This deck is a very, very solid rogue contender, 100%. I think a lot of people will continue to look at this deck and go, wow, this is amazing. Yeah, but it requires a decent amount of skill. I know a lot of Sky Striker players out here that do enjoy playing on Master Duel, but you have to play around a lot more crazy things. A lot more of the fields that are set up in Master Duel compared to a lot of other games are a lot more threatening in the long run. So this is definitely what I would consider like the rogue breaker of things, but for this all intents and purposes here, it definitely goes within this category. Floowandereeze, I'm going to put Floowandereeze here next to Drytron. I'm actually going to put it below Drytron. We do not have the card that allows this deck to dodge hand traps yet. When we see that, you will see Floowandereeze rank up, and you will see this deck get the chance to do something. But right now, the deck does average above the curve. A lot of people that are main decking a lot of outs to kind of counteract a lot of the metagame are definitely able to do so, because, normal summon deck bypasses all the special summon hate in the world that you might have. So that's definitely something to really consider for this. Dragon Maid I'm going to put down here. I do not think that Dragon Maid is better than Sky Striker. Alright, I want to be completely honest with you on that. But this is definitely a control deck that can take a lot of players off guard and force them into a bad situation. And I guess like versus these two decks, this has a good matchup. When you start getting up into here, you start to have a little bit more of an issue. But I think that this would definitely be your rogue breaker as well. But Sky Striker and Tri just do it better. I want to put Despia. Man, this is hard because Despia in the TCG at this stage before we got, Fallen of Albaz, Branded Fusion and all that, was able to top events. And there's nothing that really has changed within the realm of things here that really would set this apart from the rest of things. There just hasn't, I don't think there's been a good performance on this. I'm basing this placement based on how it performed in the TCG, and I really am sticking to that. Like, I think that this is very, very, very strong as a deck. Maybe move Adamancipator. We'll put Rocks down here. One more tier. I feel like this is a little bit better. But yeah, this is strictly based on TCG. For Luna Control, I'm also going to put down here with Dragon Maids. Once again, these are two examples of good decks that you can pick up, challenge the meta with, and be fine. Same thing with this. Numeron is that deck that you pick up and you go, holy crap, like, this is amazing. Like, you get all of this cool, crazy power handed to you. You got Kaijus, you got Lava Golems, you got the chance to break your opponent's board. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, right, ladies and gentlemen? Wow, it's just that, like, you're definitely playing something that requires a little bit more of a skill curve, in my honest opinion, but I think it's just fine here. Is Shaddoll on par with these decks? 60 card grass decks are fine. I'd put it in this category as well. This is definitely turning into my rogue category. We also have Evil Twin. I do not think Evil Twin is better than Striker, and I do not think Evil Twin is better than Tri, but I would say that it's better than all of these. So we're going to put this as the gatekeeper here. Agnister, is Heat Soul in the game yet? I don't actually recall if Heat Soul's in the game yet. So I would say for the most part that we would also put this in the rogue category. I think this deserves its spot here. Inspector Border deck definitely goes in rogue. To be honest with you, I think Stun is infinitely worse than all of these. At least these other decks have a chance to perform. Invoked. Now, man, I don't think Invoked is better than all of these. Honestly, I don't see it. I don't see Invoked doing better than these. Is Hero on par with... I don't think Hero's better than these either. I feel like these are all inherently better than Hero, so we'll put Hero in Rogue. Eldlich is now in an interesting category here. So once again, how many Floodgates can you put into this deck? Since it's 1-1 format, Skill Drain's now at 2. We've lost Imperial Order. We've lost Vanity's Emptiness. Where does this set? You still have Floodgates. You have Conk at 1 now. I think I'm going to finally put this in tier 2. I think that this deck is very, very good. I think the deck has a chance to perform, and it's definitely a very good metagame breaker. Sword Soul with the, basically Sword Soul Tenyi. This deck is fine, but I think that it's not better than the combo variant. Tomahawk and Friends are pretty insane. Alright, like, I think that by far this is probably going to be your better variant overall versus, this. Like, the Brave Good stuff versus, this versus this just feels better. Phantom Knight Brave, so they've lost VFD. Now what do you do? Well, actually, they lost Bamboozling, so that hurts them off of, Rongo Reminiad, so, I don't know what this deck does now. I'm kind of curious. I'm going to leave it 1.75 as a check. Virtual Worlds. Now we start Virtual Worlds decline out of the format. I think Virtual World Virtual World with the package now. This deck is very fair. Now this deck has to do things. This deck is way more complacent than it needs to be. The Praying Kids build should be probably... I'd make an argument between the two of these being the two best decks still, until, like, a future set comes out, but Praying Kids, like, you still have one Meow Meow, still full combo, still can do your thing. Zodiac Brigade, I really do think this is, like, a rogue deck, honestly. Like, just Zoo with the right package to board break is pretty good. And the regular Sword Soul, I'm going to put down here, while regular Sword Soul's fine, losing a lot of the power cards that they just lost on the list really sends them back to the Stone Age and hurts a lot. So that is my current tier list for post-ban list. What do you guys think? Please leave a comment down below. To interesting, make sure you guys smash the little crap out of that subscribe button. I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.